Hi everyone, Darren from DrayTek Australia and New Zealand. In this webinar we'll be looking at what's new in DrayTek for 2026. Today I'll go over some exciting new products that have just been released or will be released in Australia in the coming months. There's a lot here and I'm going to be skipping on fairly quickly, so keep your finger over the spacebar to pause the video anytime you want to take a longer look at anything I have on screen, and you can use the arrow left key on your keyboard to skip back a few seconds to hear something again, or the right arrow key to skip forward if something doesn't interest you. If you have any questions during the video, please comment in the chat box on the right side of the screen and stick around at the end for a 5-minute Q&A session. If you're watching this after the live premiere, please comment below or send an email to sales@draytek.com.au. I'll discuss the 5 new router models for 2026 and review some of the DrayOS 5 product highlights and available security features. There's also a cloud-based threat protection security product being released this year. I'll also talk about 2 new access points and the Wi-Fi 7 features available in them, as well as in some router models. Let's start by looking at the router models that have been or will be released in 2026. First up is the Vigor2136 Series router, which replaces the older Vigor2135 Series. It's a broadband router running the latest DrayOS 5 operating system. It features a super fast 2.5 gigabit Ethernet WAN port and a configurable LAN WAN port that meet the demands of modern businesses. With a hardware accelerator, it delivers up to 2.3 gigabits per second NAT throughput and includes plenty of business-grade features, including web content filtering, route policy, app-based QoS, object-oriented SPI firewall, 16 VPN tunnels, tag-based VLAN, and traffic management. Apart from the updated operating system, the main highlights are more power and speed. The 2136 series offers 2.5 times faster NAT performance and 2.3 times faster IPsec VPN performance than the older Vigor 2135 router. Here's a view of the router's rear. The points of interest are that it has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet WAN port, which is the one in blue, and LAN port 1, which is also 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and can also be configured as a WAN port. The remaining 3 LAN ports, shown at number 5, are gigabit Ethernet ports. In addition, it has 2 USB ports that can be used for USB 4G modems, a storage device, or a thermometer. The wireless router version comes with 2 detachable antennas. The 4G version of the Vigor2136 router is similar to the base model. The main difference is that it has an embedded 4G modem, 2 nano SIM slots, and LTE antennas on both sides of the router. Logging into the router's web interface, we see the dashboard, which shows the state of the ports as well as other information. Moving to the configuration physical interface menu, we can see the primary WAN is fixed 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and LAN port 1 can be configured to be a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet WAN port. Under WAN, the LTE WAN can be enabled and SIM slots can be configured to suit the installed SIM card, or 2 SIM cards. If SIM 2 is enabled and a second SIM installed, it can fail over to that if there's a problem with the primary SIM, such as an ISP outage. Next up is the Vigor2767 Series, which replaces the older Vigor2765. These routers are ideal for home and small office networks and have a built-in VDSL modem which is backwards compatible with ADSL, and 1 LAN port that can also be configured as an Ethernet WAN port if you end up with an NBN connection that needs one. There are 3 models in the series: the base model Vigor2767, the wireless model Vigor2767AX, and the 4G version, the Vigor2767AX 4G, which in addition to 802.11ax Wi-Fi has an integrated 4G modem. Looking at NAT and routing performance over the Ethernet WAN, a single gigabit Ethernet LAN client can reach up to 950 megabits per second, and aggregated LAN throughput over multiple LAN ports can reach up to 2.3 gigabits per second. On the rear, you'll find a VDSL WAN port, the one in black, and LAN port 1, which is also a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, which can be configured as either WAN or LAN. The remaining 3 LAN ports, shown at number 5, are gigabit Ethernet ports. In addition, it has two USB ports that can be used for USB 4G modems, a storage device or a thermometer. The wireless router version comes with two detachable antennas. The 4G version of the Vigor2767 router is similar to the base model. The main difference is that it has an embedded 4G modem and LTE antennas on both sides of the router. The Vigor2767AX 4G offers cellular WAN with dual nano SIM slots and multi-profile eSIM support, providing flexibility in selecting a service provider. Benefits include quick setup with a physical SIM card or by downloading an eSIM profile. It provides carrier flexibility where you can easily switch between multiple operators to optimize signal quality. In addition, the automatic SIM failover helps to maintain connectivity by switching to an alternative profile when the primary SIM connection is unavailable. eSIM profiles can be managed via the router web interface or through Vigor ACS3. Up to 6 eSIM profiles, that's 3 via the local web UI and 3 via ACS, can be configured to provide a multi-operator inventory for controlled activation. The pre-installed Bootstrap profile enables fast and hassle-free eSIM setup during initial deployment by providing temporary connectivity even when no internet connection is available on site. Logging into the router's web interface, you'll see the usual DrayOS 5 menu structure. At the physical interface menu, the DSL port is the primary WAN connection, but LAN port 1 can be configured as a 2.5 gigabit WAN interface for Ethernet-based internet access. Under WAN is where LTE WAN can be enabled. SIM 1, which is a physical SIM, can be enabled here. SIM 2 is here. And the eSIM settings are down here. And as with the 2136AX 4G, you can have up to 3 profiles configured. The Vigor2867 Series is a new multi-WAN VDSL router that will be released later this year, which will replace the Vigor2865 Series. It'll run DrayOS 5 and offer very high network speeds via its 10 gigabit WAN and LAN interfaces, as well as high-speed 802.11be Wi-Fi, providing a combined wireless speed of up to 7 gigabits per second. 3 models will be available in this series: the base model Vigor2867, the wireless BE model, the Vigor2867BE, and the 5G version, the Vigor2867BE 5G, which in addition to 802.11be Wi-Fi has an integrated 5G modem with eSIM capability. Here's a list of details about this router series. Points to note include that they have an SFP Plus slot for a 10 gigabit fiber module, and they also have a 10 gigabit Ethernet LAN WAN port, as well as a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet LAN port. This high-speed router with BE7200 Wi-Fi meets the requirements of many high-speed applications. Another new dual WAN router being released this year is the Vigor2928 Series. This is a 10 gigabit dual WAN VPN firewall router replacing the Vigor2927 Series. Again, it will run DrayOS 5 and offer very high network speeds via its 10 gigabit WAN and LAN interfaces, as well as high-speed 802.11be Wi-Fi, providing a combined wireless speed of up to 7 gigabits per second. 3 models will be available in this series: the base model Vigor2928, the wireless BE model, the Vigor2928BE, and the 5G version, the Vigor2928BE 5G, which in addition to 802.11be Wi-Fi has an integrated 5G modem which has eSIM capability. This table compares the base model Vigor2928 and the wireless version, the Vigor2928BE. The main difference is that the wireless router has 2 detachable external antennas and 1 internal 5 GHz antenna. Maximum Wi-Fi link rates are 1,376 megabits per second on the 2.4 GHz band and 5,765 megabits per second on the 5 GHz band. The Vigor2928BE supports multi-link operation, that's MLO, for Wi-Fi connections. Traditionally, Wi-Fi devices could only transmit data on a single frequency band at a time. With MLO, the Vigor2928BE can use both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands simultaneously, enabling faster speeds, lower latency and more reliable connections, which benefits business applications such as video conferencing, large file transfers and business-critical platforms, as it reduces congestion and ensures a more stable connection. Looking at the front panel of the wireless model, there are two SFP Plus ports, one for the WAN and the other for the LAN, as well as a 10 gigabit combo LAN-WAN port shown at number 5. With these three ports, that's P2, P3 and P4, only two can be used simultaneously. The third remains inactive while the other two are in operation. Be aware also that P2 and P3 cannot both function as a WAN at the same time. Looking at the router performance, NAT throughput is 9.3 gigabits per second, which is 10 times faster than the older Vigor2927 that it replaces. In addition, IPsec performance is 1.7 times faster at 430 megabits per second. Here's a list of details. Points to note are that ports P2 and P4 are SFP Plus slots for 10 gigabit fiber modules, and it also has a 10 gigabit Ethernet LAN-WAN port and a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet LAN port. This high-speed router with BE7200 Wi-Fi meets the requirements of many high-speed applications. Looking at the router's web interface, on the dashboard we can see WAN 1 is labelled P1 and WAN 2 can be either port P2 or P3, since only one of these can be WAN at any given time. Port P3 can also be either LAN or WAN, but with the combo ports only two of these three ports can be active at the same time. It's possible to have up to 6 simultaneous WAN connections. If we go down to Configuration Physical Interface, first up here you can select which combo port will be active for either WAN or LAN. Under the WAN menu there are two Ethernet WAN ports, two Wi-Fi WAN ports which can run concurrently with Wi-Fi LAN, and two USB LTE WAN connections. Regarding that MLO capability, down in the wireless LAN menu, enable both the 2.4 GHz and the 5 GHz bands and select the MLO checkbox to run in Wi-Fi 7 mode using MLO. Clicking on Edit will show those options as well. The last router I'll mention is the VigorC510 5G series. This was released in 2025 and is an alternative low-cost 5G router to the Vigor2927L 5G. This router runs the DrayOS 5 operating system and has different menu options compared to the older Vigor2927L 5G. It supports 16 VPN tunnels with a NAT throughput of up to 2.3 gigabits per second. Functionally, the router is similar to the Vigor2136, but with the integrated 5G modem. There's also a V2 model coming which will add eSIM capability. On the rear panel there's a gigabit Ethernet WAN port, the one in blue, and LAN port 1 which can be configured as a WAN port. The remaining three LAN ports shown at number 4 are gigabit Ethernet ports. The wireless router version comes with two detachable antennas. All these new routers mentioned run DrayOS 5, so I'll briefly give you an overview of what DrayOS 5 has to offer. The first feature of DrayOS 5 is Identity and Access Management, IAM. The highlights of using IAM include precise device authentication. Here, using each device's unique IP and MAC address, it provides a solid basis for identification and authentication. Next is role-based access control. Here, IAM assigns access permissions based on user roles. The IT team can manage high security access by department, authority level and responsibilities. Holistic security, where combining user, device and session-based policies strengthens security without relying on a single factor. And enhanced incident response. When security incidents occur, you can quickly pinpoint the devices involved and take the appropriate action. Another feature of IAM is the Hotspot web portal. This will help to boost your business by providing free Wi-Fi. A variety of login methods are supported to meet your business needs, including click-through, IAM user login, and an external radius server. In addition, the Hotspot portal offers simple yet powerful tools, including quota and bandwidth control, per subnet or SSID policies, and server bypass options, ensuring seamless guest access without disrupting internal services. You can also redirect Hotspot guest users to the company homepage, online surveys, or display a promotional message. Also included in DrayOS 5 routers is EasyVPN. Traditional VPN setup can be complex with protocol choices and manual configuration. DrayOS 5 routers such as the Vigor2928 support IPsec, WireGuard and OpenVPN. EasyVPN streamlines teleworker VPN, giving users secure access with a simple profile import. With EasyVPN, users can establish secure connections without the hassle of generating WireGuard keys, importing OpenVPN configuration files, or uploading certificates. By automating these steps, EasyVPN delivers a fast, secure, and user-friendly VPN experience. Let's quickly look at some of the security features in the latest DrayOS 5 routers. One of these is URL Reputation, which is a cloud-based threat intelligence service that classifies websites into 82 categories, including 10 security-focused ones. It enhances security, enables parental control, improves productivity, and ensures efficient bandwidth use. IP Reputation is another. It's a real-time threat intelligence service that scores IPs based on malicious behaviour. It blocks risky traffic like botnets, phishing, Tor nodes, and CNC systems, far beyond static block lists. By dynamically classifying IPs, it strengthens network security against evolving threats. Next, we have port knocking, which works a bit like having a PIN or a combination lock to open a port. This is being introduced in updated firmware to most current router models. It adds stealth protection by keeping ports hidden and only opening them for authenticated users, ensuring on-demand access. It can be used to provide remote management protection where router admin interfaces are invisible to the public internet and only authorized administrators can unlock access. In addition, access to resources such as NAS, FTP, or databases can be secured. Here, ports remain closed until intentionally opened. VPN services can also be secured. VPN ports can be hidden from scans and attacks and are only accessible to trusted users, minimizing exposure to the internet. A new AI-assisted cloud-based firewall system is currently being released for DrayOS 5 routers. It's a subscription service known as Vigor Shield. It actively monitors activity on LAN devices and across the network. It will proactively modify the router firewall settings to protect the network and devices from real-time threats. There will be two versions of the software, Sentry for Vigor2136 and Vigor2767 Series routers, and The Guardian, which will be for higher-end routers such as the Vigor2867 and Vigor2928 Series routers. Support for the Vigor2136 and 2767 routers is now available in firmware version 5.3.7. Support for higher-end routers will be added after these products are released. The DrayTek Threat Protection Service is a software-as-a-service solution that protects the entire LAN, securing the gateway, network traffic, and connected devices without endpoint agents. It'll protect IoT devices such as cameras, thermostats, printers, and smart devices such as mobile phones, NAS devices, and IP phones. Smart devices are protected by detecting if a software upgrade is required. IoT devices are often vulnerable, and users have no knowledge of how to maintain them. With Vigor Shield, all AI monitoring runs in the background, so users do not need any knowledge of how to configure and maintain the router firewall. So there's no need for a network administrator to create any firewall rules. Once logged into the router, you'll be able to manage and monitor your devices through the portal. We'll go into more detail in this new offering from DrayTek in a future webinar. Let's now move on to see what new access points will be available in 2026. First up is the VigorAP 1070C. This is a tri-band Wi-Fi 7 ceiling-mounted access point to be released later this year. It's designed for business environments requiring high-speed connectivity. It supports up to 512 wireless clients, ensuring scalability for offices, classrooms, and other business spaces. Like the Wi-Fi 7 routers mentioned earlier, it also features multi-link operation, MLO, for multiband transmission, which delivers ultra-low latency suitable for cloud applications and video conferencing. The VigorAP 1070C utilises three Wi-Fi frequency bands, 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz and 6 GHz, to give a combined wireless link speed close to 19 gigabits per second. It also includes a 2.5 gigabit LAN port and 10 gigabit Ethernet LAN port with support for PoE. Another new access point released earlier this year is the VigorAP 905. This is a dual-band AX3000 Wi-Fi 6 access point, which can be either wall or desk mounted. Looking at the specifications, we can see that it's equipped with one 2.5 gigabit Ethernet PoE PD LAN port and four 1 gigabit LAN ports. This access point can support up to 256 users. The Wi-Fi link rate is up to 600 megabits per second on the 2.4 GHz band and 2400 megabits per second on the 5 GHz band. It can also function as a virtual AP controller to manage up to 20 access points and can also be set up in a wireless mesh environment. Here we have a closer look at the interfaces available. LAN 1, which is 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, is the blue port. The remaining ports in yellow are the 1 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports. More details are available in the overview video on our YouTube channel, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below, as well as to product pages and videos for any other currently available products. Let's briefly look at some of the Wi-Fi 7 features that are available in the latest access point and routers to be released in 2026. As mentioned, Wi-Fi 7 uses multi-link operation for Wi-Fi connections. Traditionally, Wi-Fi devices could transmit data on only a single frequency band at a time. With MLO, devices can use all available Wi-Fi bands simultaneously. That is, the 2.4 and 5 GHz bands in the 2928 and 2867, and the 6 GHz band in the new VigorAP 1070C access point. Multi-link operation enables faster speeds, lower latency and more reliable connections. It also improves speed, reliability and reduces latency, benefiting business applications such as video conferencing, large file transfers and business-critical platforms by reducing congestion and ensuring a more stable connection. In Wi-Fi 7, multiple resource units, MRUs, enhance the OFDMA technology introduced in Wi-Fi 6. In Wi-Fi 6, each client is limited to a single resource unit, which may leave portions of the channel bandwidth underutilized. With Wi-Fi 7 MRU, clients can be assigned multiple RUs concurrently, eliminating this restriction and enabling more efficient spectrum utilization. This ensures that more of the available spectrum is actively used, resulting in higher overall throughput and lower latency. Zero-weight DFS allows Wi-Fi access points to monitor radar signals on DFS channels without interrupting service. The VigorAP 1070C features a dedicated 5G antenna for zero-weight DFS, enabling it to detect radar signals independently while maintaining active communication. When radar interference is detected, the router can quickly switch to a standby channel block. For example, if the VigorAP is operating on an 80 MHz block, that's channels 52, 56, 60 and 64, once a radar signal is detected on channel 64, DFS rules require the entire block to be vacated. With zero-weight DFS, a standby block, channels 100, 104, 108 and 112 is ready, so the router can instantly switch, ensuring smooth service. So to summarise what we covered in today's webinar, we began by looking at new router products available in 2026 and covered some of the features of DrayOS 5. Then we looked at a new cloud-based security offering from DrayTek, followed by a couple of new access points and the Wi-Fi 7 features available in some routers and access points. Okay, that's all for now, but please stay tuned. If you have any questions, we'll be available in the live chat on the right of your screen for the next 5 minutes. For more information about DrayTek products, please check out our website at www.draytek.com.au or send us an email to sales@draytek.com.au or give us a call on 02 9838 8899. Please like and subscribe below, and if you'd like a notification anytime we put up a new video, please select all from the subscribe drop-down menu as well. Thanks and bye for now.